Scott, we're thinking about moving to Saskatoon, but we kind of feel stupid asking you these questions. Or, Scott, we're thinking about investing into the Saskatoon market. We have some questions and concerns. Can you help us with those? You got questions, I got answers. In fact, in this video, it's the 5 most common questions I get for people looking to move and invest into Saskatoon. My name's Scott Ziegler, a local realtor with EXP Realty here in Saskatoon and the surrounding area, and I love my city. And I know that you, if you decide to move or invest here, will love it too. Before we get into the 5 questions, let me just say this. If you want to drop me a comment and like this video, I reply to all of the comments, or my social media handles are all in the description. If you want to look me up and hit me up on social media, I'm happy to answer your questions that way as well. Okay, the 5 most common questions I get, I'm going to save the most, by far, the most asked question for last. So you're going to want to stick around and catch the answer to that one. Number one is COVID. And I hope to goodness, if you're watching this video into the future, COVID is a distant memory. But for now, people are curious about it, people are concerned about it, and they're asking questions. What I would say is that some of the restrictions that are in place now in the province of Saskatchewan are very similar to what we're seeing across the country. One thing I will note though is that our province has really bucked the trend to do rolling lockdowns. So we're still a little bit more open here maybe than the rest of the country, and it'll stay that way. Number 2 is traffic. And now I kind of have to chuckle at this one. The average commute time in Saskatoon is 17 minutes. That's just long enough for you to listen to my podcast, the Saskatoon Business Podcast. You can find it on all major podcasting players. It's a chronicle of local Saskatoon businesses. Now, when I think about Toronto or I think about Vancouver, it's like comparing apples to ball bearings. Like, our traffic is non-existent. And in fact, if you want to get from one corner of the city to the other in the most rush hour of traffic that we have, you might be looking at 25 or 30 minutes. Saskatoon really is very easy to get around. And the other cool thing is that you can decide to live in certain sections of the city. There's affordable housing everywhere if you want to live closer to where you work. So traffic will never be a problem here. Number three is crime. And I get it. It's important. People want to feel safe. If you listen to the media, they'll tell you that Saskatoon has some of the highest crime stats in Canada. And while on paper, that might be true, what I can tell you is that Saskatoon is very safe. Most of the violent crime is familial, like people break into somebody's house that they know, or somebody gets beat up by somebody that they know. I can guarantee you, walking down the street, you're not going to get beat up, you're not going to get jumped, you're not going to get mugged. And I often put it this way: if you don't want to get into a fight after the bar at 2 in the morning, don't be standing outside the bar at 2 in the morning. If you leave your bike unlocked, probably going to get stolen. If you leave your car unlocked, some kid's probably going to go through looking for spare change. So Saskatoon has the same sort of petty problems that every city will face, but Saskatoon is a very safe place. You can virtually go anywhere you want at any time and feel safe. Okay, number 4. We're getting down to the last 2 most asked questions that I get for people looking to buy, move, and invest into Saskatoon, and that's housing. How affordable is it to live here? What I'll say is this, is that Saskatoon is some of the most affordable real estate in the entire country. You look at, again, Vancouver, Toronto, some of the bigger centers in Ontario, even places like Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton, Saskatoon is by far one of the most affordable places. And in fact, there's affordability in all housing types, whether you want a condo, a townhouse, a house, and even our luxury real estate. I mean, anything over $1 million in Saskatoon is like the top of the top. So Saskatoon's an affordable place. If you're an investor, rents here are really high. We have universities, trade schools, employment is good here. So rents are really high, and the cost of entry to get a rental property or investment property is relatively low. So it makes a really great place to invest, a sound, stable place to put your money, and people find it very affordable to live here outside of housing, lots of employment, and just your basics here are a lot cheaper. Okay, number 5, by far the most asked question that I get as a real estate agent with people looking to move to Saskatoon is it really that cold? And I'm sorry to tell you, yes, it gets cold here in Saskatoon, but you know what? I like to say it's a dry cold. It's not that bone-chilling cold. And even on a -40 day, if the sun is shining and there's no wind, it's very, very tolerable. And the other thing that I'll say about our weather is it's consistent. Starting about mid-November to mid-December, it gets cold and it stays cold. We get a good drop of snow and that snow stays. You know, if you come from Vancouver where you don't have winter, it'll be a big change. But anything west of the Rockies all the way out to Eastern Canada, everybody experiences winter. But what I'll say here is that we don't have those big snowstorms where it melts and then it gets warm and then it gets cold and then we have a big storm like you do out east. Saskatchewan weathers are very predictable where it gets cold, it stays cold. If you bundle up and layer up, you won't have a problem. And the last thing I'll say about the weather is this. Thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of people have moved to Saskatchewan from all over the world before you, and I'm not aware of anybody dying. So people have done it, you can do it too. The weather is not that bad, and the bonus is you get all 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter, and they're all magical in their own way. You're gonna love living here. Well, there you have it. The 5 most common questions that I get as a realtor, people moving and investing into the Saskatoon market. If you have any questions or concerns about moving here, reach out to me. Like I said, I'm happy to help. If you're looking to invest in the Saskatoon, I'm an active investor with multiple properties myself. I can tell you some of the best strategies to get into the market and some of the best systems to make your money work for you. Again, any questions about moving to the market, anything in this video, if there's anything else in this world that I can do to serve you, please just reach out to me, because as always, I'm just happy to help.